Oh, he went to sleep. We need to find a way to get out of here. Ellie, you are kind of ruining the intro here. Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm Heelsgood Dan, and I'd like to welcome you back to Eternal Hope. In this video, I will be discussing Heartbreak, which builds off nicely from the previous videos on grief. Do I just swing to get out of here? It's only a wooden key. Yep, okay, that'll do. Maybe we should help her too. If we don't, she'll become troll food. Ellie, again, I'm trying to start the video. I'd appreciate it if you just did not speak for a moment. Anyway, I know that I am primarily going to cover mental health topics in this channel, but I like the symbolism in this game for Heartbreak, as the character we were playing was lost and alone before he met his love. But then she becomes his whole world, and then she dies, and her soul shatters. And it's kind of like a piece of him shatters, right? It's like his heart broke into a bunch of pieces. Now I will cover more mental health related topics, but for the sake of this video and the symbolism in it, I want to cover Heartbreak. I know people in love tend to say, usually after a breakup, how they're heartbroken and their hearts hurt, and I will say that there's actually some truth to that. Heartbreak is an actual syndrome. In healthcare, it's known as Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, or in more layman's terms, more like English, broken heart syndrome. Now, broken heart syndrome is a disorder that makes it harder for your heart to pump blood to the rest of your body. And the pumping force is so strong that it makes your heart ache, similar to a heart attack. I'm going to quickly put that name on screen because I know I butchered that pronunciation. Now, again, I just want to reiterate that I put Heartbreak in the game because it relates to the game, and all knowledge is good knowledge, even if it's not directly related to mental illness, because I will be covering those topics later on. Knowing more is always better than knowing less. Now, broken heart syndrome usually happens after a really stressful situation, and your body responds by harder and stronger contractions in the stress response. So most people know the stress response is fight or flight, and you will experience signs similar to a heart attack, and again, fight or flight symptoms. So this could be severe chest pain, difficulty breathing, sweating, a faster heart rate. You may feel like a pounding in your heart. Imagine doing all that work to break out of the cage, climb the troll, move the little ballista harpoon cannon type thing, just to trigger a tripwire and die. Now I have to do it all over again. Okay, dude, I'm gonna need you to grab and break the cage. Perfect. Go get it, friend. Go hop along, I guess. I don't know. Oh, it triggered the tripwire. That's great. Okay. I'm glad we didn't die. Trolls are really heavy sleepers, huh? I'm glad you didn't become troll food. So you do care about us. Okay. That board looks cracked. Maybe I could just jump on it. And, oh, there's a little collectible again. And I just suffocated myself. Okay, well. I wonder if I climb up this ladder and maybe jump, I can get enough. Perfect. All that junk food paid off. We are thick with a purpose. Oh, hi friend. What are you up to? You just chilling? I'm just gonna sit by the cliff. I really hope you don't jump off that cliff, but I also really hope that you break the board for us. I'm just gonna climb you now, if that's cool with you. We had to abandon our homes. Now we fight a war for our survival. Is there any hope left? I'm just gonna pause on the Heartbreak really quickly, just to talk about hope. Now, hope is vitally important to life, especially in heartbreak or trauma. And that's because hope is an incredible power. It signifies that you want to make a bad situation better. You believe that things can get better, and that motivation can be the push you need to take control and improve your life. So don't underestimate the power of hope. Oh my god, do I have to kill this animal? I thought they were harmless. I am so sorry, friend. I just shot him in the back. Okay. All you did was stand, that's cool. Do I have to, like, kill him and then he'll fall over onto the board? Oh my god, I just shot him 3 more times. I feel worse because not only did I just shoot him 4 times, but I think I know what I gotta do now. I think I have to shoot him, wait for him to stand up, climb him, and then jump from that height. So in total, I have to shoot him like 5 times. I am an absolute monster. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, I feel really bad about shooting him, but at least we've progressed. And because of that, a little sacrifice. Well, it wasn't a sacrifice because he didn't die, but we did find another soul flower. And that was actually really quick. Chapter 5, Wild Beasts. This one looks friendly. Never mind. Run! Imagine trying to be helpful and almost getting us killed. Okay, thanks, Ellie. You're an MVP. Now then, before I got massively distracted because my attention span's probably as good as Helly's, the signs and symptoms of heartbreak. Now, they don't have a specific order, and they can be a mixture of physical and mental signs and symptoms, and they can even be similar to the stages of grief. Now, I'm going to cover the mental signs and symptoms of a heartbreak first, and one of them are your stress levels being higher than normal. So, you may get stressed out more often, or you feel overburdened and can get stressed out easier or over smaller things. And the stress response is chemical in nature. So remember when I said you go into fight or flight? Well, when this happens, you get a surge and an increase of chemicals and hormones. And one of those are known as cortisol. And cortisol is a stress hormone, meaning higher levels of cortisol equal higher levels of stress. So depending on how intense that fight or flight was, you're going to be more stressed out. And depending on how often it was, you're going to be stressed for longer. Oh! Get absolutely juked! Okay. You know what? I'm not mad about that. I feel a little bad that he's stuck in a tree, but it also tried to kill me a bunch of times. And by tried, I mean it totally did. And that's okay, because I can respawn and it cannot. Although our weapons aren't as advanced as they used to be, we still managed to kill a few of them. I believe we can win this war if we use our brains. Yeah, sometimes you don't even have to kill them. Sometimes you just jump over them and trap them in a tree. 200 IQ. Other mental signs and symptoms include having a low mood or depression, similar to, the depression stage of grief. You may feel numb to protect yourself from the grief, similar to shock or denial. You may think of the what-if scenario, similar to the bargaining stage. Now, I covered all this in the previous videos on the stages of grief. I recommend you go watch that if you have not already. And I did a video after that one talking about how to treat the stages of grief or how to move forward with them. You may also act rash. That is, you're losing your ability to control yourself. You may act on impulse. You may not think through your actions. You may also enter a withdrawal period, and this period is also due to the chemicals and hormones. Now, it's not necessarily withdrawal like from drugs or alcohol, and it's not fight or flight, but it's from a withdrawal of the chemical dopamine, or the happy chemical. You may have experienced something that was awful or hard, so your brain lost the level of dopamine it once had. This loss of dopamine makes your body crave it. It makes your body go into withdrawals. And the final sign that I want to talk about for mentality is you're tired. You're absolutely exhausted all the time. You may have an overall lack of energy. Your sleep schedule may be messed up. You may be less productive. And this is all due to just being emotionally drained. You're exhausted from the heartbreak and the grief that you've experienced. Some of the physical signs of heartbreak include heartache, difficulty breathing, sweating, etc. As I said before, these are the signs and symptoms of the fight or flight response. Now, this pain can be attributed to those lovely little chemicals and hormones, adrenaline and epinephrine from the fight or flight, increasing your heart rate, your heart contraction force, that is the pumping force, and that lovely little cortisol, which everyone is probably starting to dislike by now, all contributing to the physical signs of heartbreak. You may also feel physically ill. For instance, you can have symptoms like nausea, vomiting, headaches, etc. If you feel these symptoms are persistent, they won't go away, or they're lasting longer than normal, or maybe they're more intense than they used to be, it's an indication that you may need to get more support. If your mental and physical state get worse, and you find that you're not getting any relief of these symptoms, it's time to start considering professional support. And that's okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. It doesn't make you less of a person. It's completely normal, completely natural, and often a reality for most people that they need to seek professional help. It doesn't need to be a therapist. It could be simple just to visit your family doctor and be like, listen, I experienced something pretty bad. I don't know what to do. These are my symptoms. What are the next steps? What can I do? And that's actually it for the physical signs and symptoms. So we have the symptoms from the fight or flight, and then we have the symptoms after the incident and the symptoms that persist and can potentially become better or worse depending on the management of it all. And that essentially wraps up Heartbreak for this episode. Oh my god, do I have to use his body as a shield? That is awful. How many of these animals do I have to sacrifice? Like, okay, I know they tried to kill me, right? Well, I mean, they didn't try, because trying would mean that they didn't succeed. They did kill me, but still, that's kind of, like, aggressive and rude. We're just using their corpse to block us from further harm. Well, you know what? I know this is a little cruel, but we got another soul piece, and at the end of the day, that's all we're looking for. Chapter 6, The Chase. Alright, so that is the end of Chapter 5, proceeding into Chapter 6. So I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed the video and thought it was informative, please feel free to like. If you did not like the content, feel free to dislike and leave a constructive comment. If you'd like to stick around for future videos, please feel free to subscribe. There's power in each choice that you make. Stay safe, stay hopeful, you're worth it. Thank you for watching, and take care.